What is up, guys? It's Mekabre back today with our third podcast. This is the first one of February of two. Remember, they'll drop the 1st and the 15th of every single month. That means we have 24 episodes in a year, okay? So if you aren't already subscribed, make sure that you go down below, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to turn on notifications. That way you guys know whenever I'm posting something new, okay? If you're listening to this on Spotify, that's cool, but my main content area is on YouTube, so go check me out there at mekabre&co, okay? And if you're listening to this on YouTube, feel free to check out my podcast on literally wherever you listen to podcasts, except for possibly Apple, because their system is really bugged for whatever reason. Don't ask me. I'm just not worrying about it right now. So, with that, we're going to introduce. I just have one guest with me here today. It is a brand new guest. You guys have never seen him before. You have heard of him before, and you would have heard of him before because this is the man, the myth, the legend, Walsh. It's tech support in our Discord server. This is the man that made everything happen where I was a little bit incompetent. He put it all together. So, big shout out to him and welcome to the podcast.
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, so just for you guys listening, if I call him Matt, that is his name. So don't get all tripped up about that. And if he calls me Connor, that is my name. Don't get tripped up over it, okay? Otherwise, we'll try and refer Walsh, Macabre, whatever works, okay? I'm very open here, okay? And today we're gonna do a little bit of a combination here. We're gonna be focusing a little bit on Destiny 2, and I guess I should explain why a little bit. All right. Both Walsh and myself have been playing Destiny since it was a young child, okay? Back in vanilla D1, we both played, okay? And we have continued to play. Sometimes taking long breaks through seasons. I don't know about you, Walsh, but I most
Oh,
definitely did.
100%.
Yeah.
I didn't play all of like season five, whatever the Saint 14 season was. I didn't touch that.
Same. I came in at the very end and was like, "Oh, this is cool," and then I think turned around and started playing more Siege or something like that.
Hmm.
um, but we have both been playing. We've taken some long breaks, but because of us playing for as long as we have this very good idea of exactly what Bungie does and how they go about certain things. So today we're gonna start with talking about some of the things that Bungie does. Okay, that really, at least for me, it drives me nuts. And the one we're going to start with, because it's kind of pertinent based on some information that's come up recently. At the time I'm recording this, it is only the 16th of January. So the information, which we'll probably talk about later in this video, is some new weapons that are actually old weapons that are getting on Sunset, but with new perk pools. Okay? If you know, you know. If you don't, I probably have a video up on it already. Okay? So the one thing that drives me nuts, and I don't know about you, Walsh, but it's one of the worst things I feel like Bungie does, is that they take weapons that were once really good, okay, like top tier weapons, and then they turn them around. They take them off the board for a second. You don't see them, you don't hear from them. Very few people are using them, and then they basically reskin them, add a few new perks here and there, and then boom, they're back in the game already.
I mean, that was pretty much just the original Iron Banner in Destiny 1 for up
Mm-hmm.
until what, year 3 of uh, Rise of Iron when they started introducing unique models.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. And I don't even know if it was at the beginning of year three. It might have been like halfway through.
No. It was definitely because there was a huge uproar. Everyone was super surprised because if you remember, once they released Destiny 2 and they didn't have unique models, everyone was kind of upset and angry.
They're like, you showed us you're capable of this, and then you take it away.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty much.
Now, so how do you feel about this whole recycled weapons, as so many people are calling it in the community? What is your personal take on it?
I understand why we have recycled weapons because our loot pool is so small now. It's just so small.
It really
Um,
is.
but I feel like they should have, if they needed to recycle weapons so badly, they should have made it maybe a year and a half for when they started sunsetting weapons, increase the time so they wouldn't have as much pressure on them.
Yeah, have the opportunity to put together some of these new weapons that they definitely have plans for. I mean, they came out and said, what, at TWAB, right? Pretty much as soon as Beyond Light launched, or maybe 2 weeks after, they're like, hey, there's not enough weapons. We realize this. We're working on it.
And their solution wasn't add new weapons; it was give us access to previous seasons, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't bad. I've gotten a few really good Temptation hooks, which is more of a fun weapon than a useful one, but I've
Yeah,
gotten
yeah.
pretty good, pretty good weapons from Season of the Worthy. But otherwise, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Like,
go
there's
ahead.
no point.
Yeah, I agree, and I think their argument of like the main point they brought up is everyone is using these War Mind Cell builds with like Ikelos or with any of the Seven Seraph weapons really, and they allowed people to get these weapons. They brought them back because they were essentially off limits. You could not get them unless you already had them. They were gone, and then they bring them back so that way people can get them. But here's the thing: a lot of the people that are here that were complaining about that are either new light players or have come back after not playing the game for almost a full year.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
So all these people don't have the mods that work with War Mind cells. So they're just they make War Mind cells, sure. That's all they do
They
though.
yeah, like they're not like the nullifying one. They can't get that.
Yeah,
That's pretty
exactly.
good.
And it's nice because like the gunsmith will sell one occasionally. Like I
Yeah,
think
and
he
if you
just
get
had one a week ago or something like that. And I was
yeah,
like, yo.
if you get lucky enough when you use weapon parts, which no one does, if you use them with him, he has a chance of dropping them.
Yeah, I think he does, but with the total number of mods that can drop from that,
Are
it's
huge for new light players.
so small that you actually get a War Mind Cell mod. Yeah. Which is unfortunate because there's a lot of people out there that are new to this game that see people using these builds and seeing how broken they are, like truly broken. And then they join and they're like, I want to use this build, but I can't because I don't have the weapon or I don't have the mods that work with the weapon.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's just it's not it's not that it's unfair to them. Bungie didn't do anything wrong in the aspect of, oh, this was part of this season, but
Mm-hmm.
they did it in the wrong way, in my opinion.
I agree 100%. I mean, I'm glad they brought some of these weapons back because I myself am still looking for that god roll at Kalos for PvE. I have a good roll that I use frequently, okay? But getting the god roll has eluded me for far too long. And honestly, at this point, I don't even think if I got the god roll, I would use it. I think I just still use the roll that I have right now.
Yeah, I think an overall better role is better, like like your situation is better for overall situations than having to remember which specific Ikelos is for PvP, PvE,
Mm-hmm.
Gambit, whatever.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I agree 110%. All right, so we touched on recycling weapons and why we think that's a huge problem. And honestly, I mean, it's nice because some of these weapons are coming back with new
Hmm.
perk pools. So we're gonna rotate real quick into some recycled weapons that aren't even truly recycled because you could still obtain most of these. But we're talking the new, well, not new, the redone destination weapons. So Dreaming City
Yeah,
and the Moon each got 4 new weapons.
yeah.
Okay, and they're coming in this upcoming season, season 13. All right, and they're getting new perk pools. So do you think this is like, is this truly like recycling weapons, or is this just these weapons are
I
getting a facelift?
I think they're more of getting a facelift, but also I think another problem is, um, so the Dreaming City obviously has Last Wish, and uh, the Moon has Garden of Salvation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but both of those have raids on it, which those weapons don't go bad. They are permanent, which is what I have. I have a pretty good few rolls for that. So it's one of those situations of why would I grind for those weapons that are going to go bad in a couple of seasons when I have these guns that are pretty good but aren't going to go bad ever.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. I mean, there's several weapons that I already have really good rolls from the raids that I just have no reason to grind for these destination weapons anymore because of that. I agree. I agree. Like premonition, I have a god tier chattering bone, and I know they're in different slots, and I know they're two
Yeah.
completely different pulse rifles.
Yep.
But my chattering bone's gonna get used way more than this premonition is because my premonition's gonna be gone here once it comes out. It's gonna be gone in a year.
In a year,
Yeah,
unless they're going to keep those weapons recycling, but
which they very well might. And they brought up a good
they
point
might.
in their TWAB. Like I had said, there is a video out on this on my channel. I will try and do my best to remember to put a card in the top here. And if it's not in the top, feel free to check the description down below to that link. But in the TWAB, they brought up the fact that they don't think it's fair that there's destinations that have sunset weapons. Like, what is making me go to this destination? And I thought it was really good idea because with the Dreaming City and the Moon, they both have dungeons on them, okay? Pit of Heresy, Shattered
Hmm.
Throne. Shattered Throne sucks. I hate the dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Never want to do it again, okay? Pit of Heresy, I frequently jump in, usually to duo it. Sometimes I'll try and solo parts of it just to mess
Hmm.
around because it's genuinely enjoyable. And and at
Yeah,
the end,
it's
if
a
you do
good
the
dungeon.
boss fight, you get that masterworked armor piece,
Mm.
which gives you a
They're
little bit of
removing that.
resources. Yeah, which they are removing that, which is sad. Um, but they're giving you in return a tier 7 with uh, a high roll on two different two different categories of like plus 15 or something like that or higher.
Hmm.
So that it's I feel like it's manageable and I'll take
Yeah.
that over literally just another piece of armor. But it's funny because they bring these destinations and they're like, hey, no one has any reason to go here. And you're like, yeah, except for like Wrathborn hunts on the Dreaming City. That's it. Otherwise, we don't go there, and we haven't been like
Hmm.
for the past like 2 seasons. We
I
haven't.
mean, I only went to the Dreaming City for the lures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Lures and then the one feather for Hawkmoon.
Ooh, yeah, the one feather.
And the one feather on the moon for Hawkmoon. That was it.
There's one on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember.
Down where you run into Osiris on the starting mission
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah,
season.
yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
In the Shrine of Oryx.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of weird because they're like trying to give you incentive to go back to these planets. But we also know that there's a good chance that one of these planets is just going to straight up be removed and a new
Hmm.
planet or a new destination is going to be added here. Probably not in any of these seasons in particular, but probably coming with the new expansion, the Witch Queen. So it'll be very
Yeah,
interesting to see how they go about it then. Is Nessus the next one out? Because the weapons on Nessus, I mean, I guess they're not truly Nessus weapons, but
yeah. There's really only Nessus armor, and that's not
uh,
there anymore either.
yeah. So is that the next one out? They're just trying to make sure the moon and the Dreaming City are still okay. I
Hmm.
thought it was kind of weird how they went about it, but I feel like that's just a quality example of like here's some weapons that you all have seen, you've all used, and we're
Yep.
gonna give them back to you, and we're gonna change them a little bit. Okay, we'll change them a little bit, but is that change gonna be enough? And I think at the time of recording this, I couldn't tell you, but by the time you're listening to this, I'd say there's probably a good chance I already have my hands on some of these weapons. Some hopefully some god rolls. Like, I mean, what the hand cannon? I can't think of the name.
Waking Vigil.
Yeah, Waking Vigil. That hand cannon used to be a dominant MPVP, especially on PC,
Hmm.
because it was energy. It was it's an energy weapon, and
Yep. It
actually
has.
rolled with some decent stuff.
Yep.
I don't know. It'll be kind of
I
weird.
mean, uh, whatever. What's the? I have it on me right now. I I can't remember what it's called. It's on my character, but the Last Wish hand cannon, Nation of Beasts.
Nation of Beasts, yeah.
That one's not a bad hand cannon,
No, no, it's not.
but it was not as easy to get as Waking Vigil.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's why a lot of people used Waking Vigil instead. And now that we're gonna turn around and we're gonna have, I would assume to begin with, we're gonna have more Nation of Beasts than we are going to have Waking Vigils. At least at first. Eventually that'll change just because of the
Yeah.
accessibility, but it'll be kind of interesting to see how long it takes people to realize that maybe some of these weapons are cracked. Like Premonition, back last season, it was god tier in
It
PvP,
was.
and I didn't see enough. I felt like there wasn't enough of them being used. But man, like
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a roll. I want to say it rolled with kill clip, but do not quote me on
Oof.
that. And that thing just shredded. Like I mean, it was crazy how fast the kills were on that. So I'll be excited to see if some of those maintain their superiority in Crucible, or if it's going to change drastically enough that they're going to fall out entirely. Like Waking
Mm-hmm.
Vigil's been away for long enough that by the time it comes back, it just might not see any use because there's already other weapons that are better than it.
Yeah. I can't. What was its round? What was its RPM? Was it
I want to say it was a 140. It was either 140 or 150. So
if
it'll
it was a 150? I
be a
think that
140 now,
yeah.
right?
Either way, it's a 140. But like, if it was a 150, I think that might hurt its uh, use of it.
Mm-hmm. I would say so too. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, if these weapons truly are as cracked as they once were, because Waking Vigil and Premonition were both top tier options. Past that, the rest of the weapons that are coming back, I mean, Retold Tale, great PvE shotgun. And PvP, you could get some good rolls too. But
Yeah.
past those, like three, I mean, there's just nothing that truly gets me excited. Some people are really hyped for Blasphemer because it's another kinetic
Kinetic
shotgun.
slug.
Yeah, slug. So hey, maybe you don't have this heritage. Well, here's Blasphemer. You can use that instead. So
Mm-hmm.
it'll be interesting to see, like I said, if these weapons hold any value when they come back, and hopefully I have a video out on that, as soon as these weapons drop. But we'll see. The beginning of a season is always very, very hectic for content creators. I mean, it's trying to figure out everything and anything that we have put in front of us and get it all out to you guys. There could very well be a week where I run like 6 videos that week because, hey, here's a new exotic quest. Here's these weapons are absolutely cracked. This loadout is insane, so on and so forth. And
All right,
it's a
calm down, Rick.
huge rush. What?
Just take a step back. Step.
Well, yeah, we'll see what the season holds. Some people are
Yeah.
saying that's not going to be all that exciting in the first place.
Uh, my only fear is like with this season, how like sure the seasonal activity kind of sucked. Not gonna lie, it kind of after the farming of each boss once, kind of got repetitive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like you've done the final mission, you've done the hunt for the heretic.
Yep.
I felt that was a really good cutscene to end.
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I legitimately was expecting credits to start rolling after
Yeah,
the fact.
yeah, it was a beautiful cutscene, and
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people were surprised, but I definitely feel like that might come back to bite us in the ass with Spider not being our biggest fan, probably in
Mm,
the lore right now
could
after
be.
doing what we did.
That could very well be the case.
Yeah. And he was a very powerful ally. If you remember with the Salvation Script mission,
Mm-hmm.
and sure, Endgame, that did not do pretty much anything.
No,
But
but that mission definitely helped tell a little bit of a story.
yeah,
Yeah.
and after what we've done, who knows?
It'll be interesting to see, yeah, that position. One of the things, and we'll kind of start transferring a little bit here, into focusing less on some of the things that we're a little more disappointed in, and more on some positive things that Bungie's
Mhm.
been doing. And one of the things, personally for me, that I think they've done such a great job on, and it's a complete 180 from what we had in D1, where we got poor storytelling, and now we're actually having a rather interesting story for those like for the people that play each season. And as long as they
Hmm.
play like bare bones minimum, they kind of know what's going on. And even if you don't
Yeah.
play, as long as you just like watch a YouTube video, like I mean,
I mean,
Dado,
yeah.
I think Dado just put out an excellent video like explaining how he's like getting really into this and talks a little bit about it. And some of the other
Yeah.
lore YouTubers do a fantastic job on it.
Life.
Yeah, yeah. My name is Baif. It's there is some great aspects to the story that they've really honed in on, and like I said, did a complete 180 from what we once had. I mean, the Exo Stranger was once the end game for Destiny.
Hmm. Yeah.
And now that story that's been away for what, 4 or 5 years
She's
is
just
now
the
back.
defender now, which
It's
is really
oh,
cool.
it is, and
And
I'm
like,
so
if you
happy
do the
that they
mission
did that.
if you do the Darkness Rising missions, it gets more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
I have a fear there's not going to be any more. I really want more information about the dynamic between her and Anna.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that is one thing that they have changed rather drastically over the past few years, even. And
Hmm.
it has truly made the game so much more interesting. Like, I mean, Destiny
Yeah,
used to be a game that you did not play for the story. You played it because the loot was kind of fun,
it
and
was a
it was
looter
looter
shooter,
shooter.
and the PvP was pretty good compared to most games at the time,
Yeah, yeah, no,
especially when
it was on
Trials
top
came
of it. Yes, exactly. And now it's a game where it's still that looter shooter,
out.
that everyone loves. You can jump right in, get your hands on all these great weapons, great armor pieces, so on and so forth. Collect whatever you feel like collecting. But also, there's this great story that you can follow along that adds on each season that you play. And there's a lot of games that have these seasonal activities or these seasons, as they call them, season of the whatever, season 21, whatever, and nothing's truly added on in terms of the story. It's always just, oh, we made some minor changes to a couple maps and added like a battle pass.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
Destiny does so much more than that.
yeah, and they do the season pass really well, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree
Like,
100%.
you have the ability to earn everything except the ornaments and like cosmetic stuff. You
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to earn all of that, or you
Without
can
paying for any of it.
without paying, or you can just buy it to immediately get that exotic.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I usually end up doing because I'm like, that looks like fun to use.
And then you
This
get your
season's
hands on it and you're like, this isn't
uh,
as fun as I thought.
like last season or
Yeah, with Wither
last
Horde.
season, last season Wither Horde and Tommy's Matchbook. Those were both really cool in my opinion
Mm-hmm.
because Tommy's Matchbook kind of had the touch of malice going on.
Yep. Yep. I had the same
But
thought when I first saw it. I was like, dude, this is
yeah,
exactly like Touch of Malice.
yeah, and if you get like the catalyst, you take less damage or you
Mm-hmm.
heal when you get a kill, whatever it is.
So
You
it's
just
a
end up to
combination of that, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, and like that's amazing. That's great. And then there's other catalysts such as like Sunshot. Yeah, I think that's all that's needed to be said about Sunshot Catalyst.
Yeah. Yes, the Sunshine Catalyst is a little bit
Mhm.
on the grindy side, but it does make the weapon rather cracked after the fact. At
Yeah.
least in terms like Crucible, it does. PVE, not as fantastic, but yeah. No, I do think another thing that they've done really well is they've taken some of these exotic weapons that come with the season's pass and truly have made them unique. I mean, there's been weapons in the past that are not unique, but most of these past few
Mhm.
seasons have been rather unique.
Yeah, Ruinous Effigy.
Hmm.
I wasn't really able to get it. I was kind of tired of D2 and I was playing other games. But like I was like, fuck, I gotta wait a couple seasons to get it now. Like thinking about the whatever it's called,
Oh,
the
the
uh, the
yes,
the vault.
vendor, the exotic vault. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like for someone who doesn't constantly play, that's
Hmm.
amazing.
Yeah. No, it is super nice that you can. check out for a season or two and come back and be able to
Like
buy those weapons.
I refused to grind for Izigname's burden because that was a pain in the ass. I saw it, I went, no. But now I have it.
hmm Yeah, Izanagi is a very grindy quest, but it is so worth it.
It's
So
such a
very worth it.
fun gun.
It really is. It really is.
It's in idea. It's not such a unique weapon. It's a sniper that you can make more powerful by spending more bullets.
hmm
Which it's just a gun, but it's such in play. It's so like it's a risk reward. Do I take this shot with a normal bullet, or do I waste four bullets to get one super powerful and end up missing?
Yep. Yep. Happens to me way more often than I would like to admit. All right. Now, we're going to try and wrap this up here. We're hitting that 26-minute mark here. Um, and we aim for somewhere between 25 and 35. That's usually our goal, okay? Um, so we're going to wrap up and I want you to pick one thing since you are rather, I would say, up to date with the information Bungie's given us, at least in regards to Destiny 2. I want you to pick one, maybe two things, at the most three things that you are just you can't wait for to drop in the next 2 to 3 seasons. But here's the catch: it has to exclude the expansion, the Witch Queen.
Oh,
Okay.
that's fair. I really am excited for Vogue because for one thing, I played Vogue. That shit was a pain in the ass, but I don't have to go in with my hands behind my back going, how does this work? I have a general idea, but I'm truly excited for crossplay
Okay. Yeah.
because uh, we played Destiny at the same time, but
Mm-hmm.
never together
Yep.
because I was on Xbox, you were on PC or PS4,
Yep.
and now we're both on PC, and we still haven't played together. But I'm excited because like that just gives me like I have friends on PS4
mm-hmm.
that I'm like, oh man, I would love to play with them,
Yeah.
but it's I've never had the chance.
And
And like
there's been
now that
other
I'm on PC,
games that we could have played together or we have played
but
together. But Destiny
mm,
has been one that we've played
yeah,
since the beginning and we just haven't been
yeah.
able to.
I mean that's how we started first met.
hmm
Was you were you were talking about Destiny? I'm like, oh, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was very entertaining actually. Yeah. Both of us participating in scouting and
Hmm.
I want to say I was talking to Jaren about it or something.
Yeah, you
And
were
then you
because
were
it was like right
nearby.
before closing.
Yeah, and you're like, hey. And then like from that point forward, like that was like the first thing, but then
Yeah,
honestly that went out the door because I was like towards the time what that was like right at the end of year one D2 or something when we first
yeah.
started talking about it. So
No, it was year two. It was year
it
two
was year two.
because it was about. I think we said something about like the new subclasses
Yeah, I think you're right. And we had all
because
like eventually lost interest, so
mhm,
which was unfortunate at the time, but I mean we still hung out and did other things, led to
yeah,
a bunch of fun in high school and yeah, for sure.
yeah.
But
But
I would have
just
to agree.
the
Crossplay
idea
is
of
something
being
that
able
makes
to
me
play with
exciting.
others.
Mhm.
The only problem is like PC players will have that advantage in Crucible and parts of Gambit.
Mhm. It'll be
Like,
interesting to see how they counteract that though, or if they do
mhm,
anything to begin with.
yeah, like maybe you have to like if you want to play with your friend on Xbox, it won't be allowed to do public PvP.
That could be.
Like if you're on PC, it might
Yeah.
be like you can do private matches, you can go PvE, but you can't do public because like just the time. Like I don't, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Like Crucible will be severely awful at the beginning because
If you
we
play
all
on
know.
any console or you use a controller, you're gonna be such a disadvantage. Unless you're the new Grenadier Jake or something.
Yeah, like everyone knows Bungie will not do anything about it for I'd say a good few months.
I
because
don't
it's going to be
know.
a. I think it's going to take a few months to come out
Oh yes,
successfully,
yes,
but
I
I
agree.
think they're going to address it like, hey, we're trying to fix it, but
Hmm.
this is a little different than what just a simple glitch in the Legend Lost sector.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. And honestly, I mean, between crossplay and VOG, there's just so much going on in these next few seasons that truly give you a reason to be excited for. And me
Oh
personally,
yeah.
I am, I think, most excited for the opportunity to get adept weapons from
Oh.
Nightfall, dude. Oh,
Hmm.
I mean, I am not. I play Crucible to get the weapons and just because occasionally it's kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
But I spend a majority of my time in PvE, and having a way to, because I don't go flawless.
I haven't gone flawless in years, not since D1.
I don't think I have ever gone flawless. And the account that I used to have in D1, I'm pretty sure it was because my brother went flawless for me or something like that, or he did it on one of his
Mhm.
characters or something. And having an opportunity to get adept weapons for PvE players that don't play a lot of PvP or don't go flawless every week, I think is a
Mhm.
really really good idea. And honestly, I mean the weapons coming back, whew, I'm so excited for. Like Palindrome
So
used to be like my best friend in D1.
it was it was a monster in PvP. It was
Hmm.
Izuna, Palindrome, Hawkmoon,
Oh yeah,
Last Word, and Taken King. It just so much.
yeah, yeah. No, and I'm super excited for that myself. All right, we're gonna wrap up here now. You have about 30-ish seconds to give me one last thing. If it's where we can follow you, you want to plug your links, whatever. All right, your Insta, socials, whatever it is, or if you would like to just one last thing you want to say to the people listening, or honestly, take it whatever way you would like.
Uh, I got something that'll benefit you. I honestly, I've seen a lot of YouTubers who, uh, even bigger YouTubers, uh, put in a lot of work, but also a lot of them that just pump out videos that are really bad quality, misinformed, um,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
low quality. Connor puts in a lot of work, and it's kind of surprising. Not that he puts in work, but
I was
how
gonna
how
say, wow.
good for like how new of a channel it is. A lot of my friends, I got a good few of them to start watching his videos. One of them doesn't even play Destiny, and he's really impressed with his videos. Um,
Hmm.
it's just, I just gotta say, subscribe, join the Discord, get involved with the community, join while you can, because in like 20 weeks when he's at 1,000 subscribers, you can be like,
I think you might have lagged out there.
you can be that guy.
Yeah, yeah. Be like, hey, I was here from the beginning. Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah. I've had quite a few people, like you were saying, get back to me and say, hey, you put in some good work, your video quality, editing, so on and so forth. And I always have a goal for myself to try and improve one thing each video. And sometimes it's just the speed at which I can put it together, the speed at which I edit, so on and so forth. Other times it's just hey, maybe we mix it up a little bit and we add like outro music or something. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that you guys see this development. You can go back and watch some of my beginning videos and
Maybe
work your
get
way
Jaren a
out.
better mic.
Yes, get Jaren a better mic. For real. That man's mic goes nuclear way too frequently. All right, no, I thank you for that. All right, my closing statement, obviously. Thank you, Matt, for being on here on the podcast. Hopefully,
Mhm.
this is not your last time. Matter of fact, I guarantee
I
it
mean,
won't be.
yeah.
I do have plans going forward. Got some people hopefully gonna line up here for the not quite next few podcasts, but some further down the road because I gotta spread my stuff out, spread some content out, obviously. But we'll get around to that when it comes. So, with that, thank you guys for listening so very much. If you are listening to on anywhere you listen to your podcast set. Hey, I don't know. I don't judge. But if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, head on over there. Okay, it's mekabre&co. It'll be in the description on Spotify, I think. And if it's not there, just search it on YouTube. You should pretty easily find me. Go on over there, subscribe, hit that bell, so that way you get notified whenever I put out new content. And I put out content twice a week, guys, every Tuesday and every Saturday. So that way, if something new drops at reset, you know right away, hey, something new just dropped. I better hop on, or once school's done, whatever. So there's always content out. There's always something new, something going on. I make the best of it. If you guys would like to see something new, something different, not Destiny 2, well, let me know in the comments down below. I do read them, and I'll try my best to change it up if you would like something new. It kind of depends if I have the game or if I don't, so on and so forth. And with that, I think you guys already know how it's gonna end, and I don't know where or how I came up with this, to be honest, but it's kind of stuck, so we're just gonna stick with it. Get back to grinding, you crazy guardians.